matches.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's dumb.
Weird
I can't
kid.
believe I did that.
So you were reading up on the escapees from the New York prison?
Oh yeah, it's been all over Twitter and the news lately about these two murderers that are that they escaped from a New York prison, and so what happened? From what I hear is and from what I saw on the Chive, they had photos of it, and it was almost identical of a story in a sense of how they escaped as the Shawshank Redemption. If you haven't seen the Shawshank Redemption, an an innocent man was convicted of murder, and he ended up escaping through going through a wall and then cutting in a sewage pipe and crawling through a sewage pipe very far, and then he ended up being a free man. But it was a very similar story as in the two men. They were in a cell next door to each other. Somehow they worked it out to where they both got out they cut a hole in their cell. And how officers don't know that they're doing this?
With power tools is what you said, right?
Yeah, they used power tools. But how the officers, unless the officers were in on it, how the officers don't,
Do they patrol them all night long, or do they have quiet time at night?
They do rounds, and they do a count and make sure that everyone's there.
All throughout the night? Yeah,
but from what I hear, they took hoodies and pillows and stuffed it to make it look like they were sleeping. So that's why they weren't found until the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, so they got through the wall, and then somehow they got down into an area that had pretty much, like I was saying, one of those big sewage pipes. Mm-hmm. They cut a hole in it with power tools, which how they got the power tools also makes it seem like someone else was in on it, which is also on the news. People are being questioned.
But isn't there a bunch of stuff smuggled into prisons and people have no idea?
Yeah,
that's what
I find it hard to smuggle a drill up.
Haven't you seen Orange is the New Black? They get all sorts of stuff in there.
No, I have seen Orange is the New Black, but I haven't seen what they smuggle in.
They have a whole thing. You can give the woman that works in the kitchen a little list, and she brings whatever you want.
Well, yeah, I do see it that way. Yeah, but
they have hot plates.
Hot plates. I've seen enough prison movies and prison TV shows to know that it's not impossible to get this stuff. Mm-hmm. But power tools, I don't know. Seems
seems iffy. Why would they?
They had to have gotten extension cords, or why is there going to be plug-in right near the drainage, in a random area?
But if they smuggled it in, those DeWalt things, it's just a plug-in battery. Maybe they sent it in charged.
Oh, maybe they did that. See, I knew there was a reason why I had you on here. You're a little bit smarter than me at sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what's funny? I work with power tools.
So do I.
The battery kind, which I don't know why that completely slipped my mind. Yeah, so now that I feel dumb, pretty much they've been on the loose for a few days now. I want to say it's almost been a week. It may have been a week by now. And they made the search even bigger. I believe it's in Vermont now. And last I heard that the dogs were on a scent, but if they got in a car, that dog's not going to catch up to them.
Yeah. No. Yeah, and they had to have told people on the outside that are helping them, because
there has to be somebody helping them. This is such a magnificent plan, in my eyes. The fact that they got out in general. Jail nowadays is not like it used to be.
How did it used to be?
Oh, back in my day, back in Nam, when I was sent to the brig, we had, but it's just, to me, it sucks because they're murderers, but is it bad of me that a little piece of me is rooting for them?
No, I don't think so, because it's a terrible thing, and I have no idea who these people are or what they did to be in prison.
The murder.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Yeah,
but
that's why
there's a little part of me that wants to root for them too, because they've gone so far.
This is like the Shank right now.
Yeah,
this is like a real life the Shank.
I really want to hope that they're innocent and they're doing what's right.
Yeah, I highly doubt that this is the exact same storyline as the Shawshank Redemption, but that would be amazing.
It would.
Okay, so we're in New York. We're in prison. Mm-hmm. We're cellmates, or next door to each other. We come up with a plan to do this. We escape the exact same way. Are we splitting up?
No.
Okay, so we're in it together.
Do you want to split up?
No, I'm just asking your opinion.
No, I would be attached to your side, because they have, who are they going to be honest to? They can't go to anybody, and they're going to be skeptical of every single person they meet.
Yeah, I mean, they're wearing their prison clothes too.
Unless they're extreme introverts, what you know, and they're okay with living in a hole all by themselves, not talking to anybody, I would want the company of the person I did this with.
Definitely, especially if like your cellmates next to each other, then you obviously know each other. I know people that have been there. I'm not saying that I have, but I have. But when you're locked up with someone, you tend to not let them in too much, but you tend to learn a lot about a person. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of know the do's and don'ts and stuff like that. You kind of get to understand. It's just like a normal friendship that takes a long time to bond from chilling. But like you have plenty of time in a very small area, you tend to know someone very easily. So they obviously got along pretty decent if they decided to do this together.
Yeah.
In my situation, if we escaped and we went together, part of me would want to split up just so, in that case, I know I'm a faster runner than you. So I know that they would catch you first. No. No.
I was about to say, wow, that's messed up, Bubba.
No. But New York is so close to Canada. Mm-hmm. I would say Canada. Go right there.
Yeah. Find like back roads or something.
The only thing I don't like about Canada is I know it snows there. So if we don't
I would love to live in Canada. Me and Nick are planning to move there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, not like legitimately planning, but we talk about it a lot. I want to live in Montreal. I
want to live in Boston. Me and Amber.
What?
Yeah, we want to retire in Boston.
Why?
We fell in love with it. I went there when I was in 8th grade, and I fell in love with it. And then I went there for her birthday, and we fell in love with Boston. It was literally just the old buildings. It was gorgeous there, and it's just so much different than over here. I mean, obviously there's so much more history, but it really is just something that's so great. Brick buildings, Harvard is there. They have subways. Like that to me is so cool.
Yeah.
Like me from California, we see trolleys all the time, but that's not like a subway. That goes underground.
Yeah. And they go so many more places. Like,
oh, I want to public transportation is everything there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Public transportation in San Diego and really California is just terrible.
Oh yeah. It's like if I want to get to a certain place, I gotta take this trolley. Luckily, the trolley you can, for the most part, take one trolley and get kind of where you're going. But then the problem is like, okay, but my true destination is still 5 miles away from where the trolley lets me off. Mm-hmm. So now I need to take two buses, even though one would be easy enough to go down this one road and then take a right. Now I need to take two buses because this and that. Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to take a bus to the trolley station, to the next trolley stop, and then two more buses after that. And
Speaking of public transportation, do you think that the criminals took public transportation?
Maybe.
I mean, the only thing that I would think would be suspicious, and I'd say stay away from all people if possible, is that they're still in their prison clothes.
You think so?
Yeah, that's. I mean,
if
I see their faces. If
they got power tools, they probably got a pair of jeans and a t-shirt.
That's very true. That is very true. Yeah, I mean, I've seen their picture a million times, but if I ran into them on the street, I still wouldn't recognize them.
No.
I wouldn't recognize them.
Because you don't actually look at people's faces in public.
Well, I know. Like, that's the furthest thing that I look at.
I know.
Yeah. But, like, when it comes down to it, I just don't remember faces. I mean, if you were Johnny Depp, I'd be like, oh, that's Johnny Depp. That guy escaped from prison.
Maybe. Yeah. If you actually looked at him.
Who knows? He's got many good disguises, too.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he could be a pirate. He could be, like, a novel guy.
I heard he hangs out at Disneyland in the Pirates of the Caribbean in his, like, get-up. And if you see more than 4 on the ride, like, you saw him.
No.
I read that somewhere.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. I always count them, but then I've never counted.
Just to throw us in another random category, because we still have a little bit of time. Do you know any fun facts about Disneyland?
I think I do, but
I'll fill you in on one.
Okay.
If you go to the Haunted Mansion, you'll see a little cemetery there. Mm-hmm. Well, if you go up and you ask a person very nicely, one of the people that work there, if you could see the hidden cemetery, they'll actually take you around the building, and there's a little hidden pet cemetery.
With real stuff in it?
No, it's not real. It's something that's technically off limits, but if you ask politely, they show you. You want to know how I know?
How?
Not from experience. I saw it on a video because I went up and I asked with Amber, and I was like, I heard that there's a pet cemetery. Can you show us? She's like, you're looking at the cemetery. She must have just broken up with her boyfriend or something like that, because I tried to ask as nice as possible, and it did not work out.
I also heard in the Haunted Mansion that if you're with your girl and you start like macking on her towards the end of the ride, the cast members can see you and as you're coming out of the tunnel towards the end, they'll start like clapping for you.
Really?
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. I never heard that. Another fun fact that I heard is, you know, the big old school boat that goes around Tom Sawyer Island, the big white one.
Yeah, the steamboat.
Yeah. Once again, if you ask very nicely, if you can pilot the boat, they will take you up to where the is it pilot? Captain. If you can I captain the boat and drive it? They'll take you up to the cabin, and it's very small, and they'll let you drive it for a little bit, and then when you get off, they'll give you actually a certificate that says that you are a captain of the boat. Da, 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 da.
That's super cool.
Oh, it's definitely very cool. I mean, I know actually a lot of stupid, meaningless, fun facts. Did you know that every single plant in Tomorrowland is edible?
Yes, I did know that.
Well, then, you suck.
I've read a lot of like weird Disney facts.
Yeah.
I love anything Disney.
Oh, me too. I'm a Disney freak.
I would be there every day if I could.
I'm like
an adult and responsible and stuff, so I can't.
I have beliefs. I personally wish that I don't want a season pass because I like to go once a year because then
That's not enough for me.
It's magical. You got to realize it's magical once a year because you're like, oh, I missed it so much. I'm so excited to be here. When you go every day, I had a season pass to Knott's Berry Farm. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. I know where everything is on the back of my hand.
It's not as like I can't.
They have an old western town,
and for the price for Knott's Berry Farm is not worth it. It's like almost as much as Disneyland, and there's like not much to do.
Back when I went, it was $80 for a season pass.
Oh wow!
And you got to go to Not Soak City as well.
Oh, that's crazy. Maybe I'm just mistaken on the price. I know somebody recently told me the price, and I was like,
I think it's like $89 or something like that now.
Yeah, for
a ticket, not even the season pass.
Yeah, and when you could just pay a little bit more and go to Disneyland.
Yeah, I mean it's I love Disneyland.
It's a painful thing.
Yeah, you're funny. Anyways. I think that's about all the time that we have for our show. I hope you liked it.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, we love feedback. So if you want to give us any feedback, we got an email. It's the Bubba Project at gmail.com. We have a Twitter. It's at the Bubba Project.
Mm-hmm. A SoundCloud, the Bubba Project.
Yeah, and
the YouTube.
Yeah, and if you can guess what it is, it's actually the Bubba Project.
Yes, it is.
So if you ever want to give feedback or you want to see some of our stuff, we're also going to post videos of stuff that we do sometimes. Just always tune in and stuff like that. Give us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you. And
if you want to be on the show, just let us know and we'll bring you in.
Yeah, we're always looking for interesting people, and I would guess that our fans are pretty interesting people.
Yes.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We hope that you enjoyed it, and it looks like we're going to be doing one once a week, probably every Thursday. So tune in then. We'll be posting it, and you guys have a good one.
Yeah, bye, guys.